Yes, welcome back. So in the previous video, we've been discussed about the introduction to the metal cutting, and we've been discussed about the what is the orthogonal cutting and an oblique cutting model, how it works with reference to the workpiece and the tool, how the orthogonal cutting takes place and then oblique cutting tool takes place. So in this video, we're going to discuss about the comparison or the difference between the orthogonal cutting model and an oblique cutting model. Then we're going to say about the single point cutting tool nomenclature, what is single point cutting tools and what are the nomenclatures of single point cutting tool along with the diagram we're going to discuss in this video. This comparison between the orthogonal and oblique cutting. So mainly the orthogonal metal cutting. So the cutting edge of the tool will be perpendicular to the direction of tool travel. So in the orthogonal metal cutting, the cutting edge will be perpendicular. Perpendicular means exactly it will be the 90 degree to the direction of the tool travel, and the direction of chip flow is perpendicular to the cutting edge. So the direction means the chips which is when we started removing the excess material, the chip flow will be perpendicular to the cutting edge. So for some same feed and depth of cut, the force which shears the metal acts on the smaller area. So the tool life is very less, produces very sharp corners because of the same feed and depth of cut which is force is acting on that. It causes the tool life also very less, and it produces the sharp corners on the workpiece material. So the next difference is a smaller length of cutting edge is in contact with the work. Very only the small portion or a small amount of portion will be contact with the cutting edge when it is in the working. So the general parting of the lathe. So this type of mainly it is used in the broaching or slotting operations are done in this method. So the orthogonal cutting mainly for the in the lathe. If you take the lathe as an example, the mainly the cutting purpose takes place in this orthogonal cutting is about the broaching and the slotting operations that can be done in the lathe machine. This is about an orthogonal metal cutting. Now we'll see the comparison of oblique metal cutting. So the cutting edge is inclined at an angle less than 90 degree. So the direction of tool travel less than 90 degrees, nothing but an acute angle. So which will be the cutting tool, it will be inclined less than the 90 degree. So which angle we are going to fix? For that particular angle, the direction of tool will be travels. So the chip flows on the tool face making an angle. So that is what we call it as an acute. So the chip flows sideways in a long curve. So it will not flow exactly to the cutting edge. It flows, the chip still flows in the sideways. So the cutting force acts on larger area, so the tool life is more. So the cutting forces which will be acting on the larger area of the workpiece material, so the tool life will be more, and it produces the chamfer edges at the end of the cut for the same depth of cut, and the greater length of the cutting edge will be in the contact with the work. So hence the tool life will be more, and this method is mainly used to almost all the machining operations. See, the oblique cutting material method is mainly used for almost all the operations. So there, if we compare with the orthogonal cutting, mainly it is majorly it is used for an broaching and an slot making. So comparing with the oblique and an orthogonal cutting, so in the oblique, so the tool life will be more. In the orthogonal, the tool life will be less, and the more cutting edges or the greater length will be having the contact with the tool. Hence, the tool life will be more, and it will be the perpendicular to the axis with the tool travel here inclined at an angle less than the tool travel. So these are the some of the major differences between the orthogonal and an oblique cutting, and mainly the orthogonal is used for an broaching and slotting operations, and in oblique cutting this method this oblique cutting it is mostly almost used in all the machining operations. So this is the major differences between the orthogonal cutting and an oblique cutting. Yes. So next we're going to see about the classification of cutting tools. So mainly the classification of cutting tools has been classified into two categories. One is single point cutting tool nomenclature and multi-point cutting tool nomenclature. So the difference between the single point and multi-point is, so in the single point cutting tool only will be having one cutting edge. In the multi-point cutting tool it will be having more than one cutting edges. So in the single point only one cutting edge. In the multi-point it will be having a more than one cutting edge. So according to the syllabus, we're going to study only about the single point cutting tool. But in the generally, we should be able to know what are the different types of cutting tools. As we know that single point cutting tool and a multi point cutting tool. Single point means only the single edge. Multi point means more than the one edge. So in the according to our syllabus, so we're going to study only about the in depth about the single point cutting tool nomenclature. What are the parts are there and what are the major parts and how it going to be works. So you can able to see this is about an single point cutting tool. So you can able to see only the one cutting edge will be there. So here this portion what we call this as an shank, and this what we call the angle between this portion and this we call it as a side rack angle, and from this to this portion what we call it as a back rack angle, and this part what we call we can able to see in this tool that is about a nose radius, and from this portion what we call it as a side relief angle, and what we call this as a side cutting edge angle, and this is the difference between these two angles what we call as an end relief angle, and the angle between these two portions what we call as an end cutting edge angle. So these are some of the major classifications of the cutting tool, mainly especially when we are discussing about the single point cutting tool. So these are the some of the major points, sorry, these are the some of the major parts that we're going to be discussed about in the single point cutting tool nomenclature. Yes sir. See, when we're going to select any type of tool, first we're going to decide which type of the workpiece material should able to cut by this tool. For example, if we take as an workpiece as in a mild steel means, then we will go for an different, normally we go for an high speed steel as an tool, because the high speed steel is having a more greater strength than the mild steel, so it can easily it can able to remove the, or the cutting process can easily takes place. See this shank, the shank is nothing but we can able to see the almost the 60 to 70% of the portions in the tool which is covered by the shank. Shank is nothing but the mainly the shank with the completely the shank will be holded by the tool post. Why this much of amount of tool will be holded by the tool post is in order to hold the or rigidly fix the tool properly in order to do the machining process. If the tool is not rigidly holded by the tool post, what happens is there is a chances of breakage of the tool, and there is a chances of damage to for the operator who is operating or is working on that machine, or in the some cases the surface finish will be not good. So in order to avoid that, so the tool should be able to hold the tool post will rigidly hold the tool. So the due to this what happens, there will be no vibrations between the tool and the workpiece causes, so the smoothing or the smooth function of the shaping can able to takes place between the tool and the workpiece. So that is one of the major reason the almost the complete portion of the shank will be holded by the tool post only. So this is what we called as a cutting edge. So we're going to fix the tool according to the requirement, means according which type of material we're going to use, based on that we're going to select the type of tool based on that particular angle or machining process. So we're going to fix the tool, and we start going to give that tool feed or depth of cut in order to remove the excess material. So now we'll see about the explanations about for all this process. So shank is the it is that the portion of the tool which will be holded by the tool post. So it is tool post will be completely holded by the shank. Next, back angle. Back angle is nothing but angle between the face of single point cutting tool and a line parallel with the base of tool measured in perpendicular plane through the side cutting edge. So you can able to see this back angle is nothing but, so this angle between these two and this part what is what we called as an angle between the face of the single point cutting tool and a line parallel between the, which we going to select between the parallel plane through the side cutting edge. See, in single point means only one cutting edge will be there. So from there we are going to measure, that is what we called as a back rack angle. So when we come to the side rack angle is angle by which the face of the tool inclined in the sideways. So side rack angle is angle between the surface, the flank immediately below the point and the line down from the perpendicular to the base. So you can able to see this side rack angle. So between the, it is above the nose and below the nose radius, it is above the nose and below the shank portion. So in between what we called as a side rack angle means the side surface of the flank immediately below the point and the line down from the point what is that perpendicular to the base, and the nose. So nose is the tip of the cutting tool, and it is found by the intersection of side cutting edge and the end cutting edge. So here you can able to see this nose. What this nose is, what we call it as a nose. So you can able to see this portion what we call it as a nose radius. So nose radius is nothing but it is the tip of the cutting tool, and it is formed by the intersection of the side cutting edge and the end cutting edge. So the nose tip will be, because the mainly the tip of the nose only it helps to remove the excess material through the cutting edge. So what happens, this forms between the intersection of the side cutting edge and the end cutting edge, that forms as the nose. So these are the some of the major parts are